And let's see. Welcome, everyone. This is February the 22nd, 2016. This is what we call Goldmiind. And that's this mind that you have, and this heart, and this internal wealth that you possess. And all of us do. We possess inner wealth. And frankly, all of the inner wealth flows from, all of the outer wealth flows from inner wealth. And if you don't build on your inner wealth, then eventually you lose your outer wealth, or you're not able to grow it in the first place. So how you doing, Connie? I see you there. Welcome. I'm going to, let's see, turn off some videos so that you can feel free. And this gold mind we all possess. You know, Eckhart Tolle talks about it in one of his books. He talks about this beggar sitting on the side of the road outside the village. People walk by, he's sitting on this box. And it's an old box. He's been sitting on it for decades, really. He begs, and at the beginning of the village, and everybody walks by and puts a few coins in his hat. And then one day a stranger came by. This is a story told right at the very beginning of Eckhart Tolle's book, one of my favorite books. I'll think of the name. So, and so he's the beggar sitting on this box, and a stranger comes by and says, "Well, what's in the box?" And he goes, "I don't know. I've never looked." He said, "Well, why don't you look?" And so he stands up and he opens the lid on his box, and he finds out his box is filled with gold. And he's been sitting on this box, you know, for 20 years. And all of us really have gold inside of us. We have dreams, we have plans, we have passions, we have skills, we have talents, we have values, we have, you know, just things we love to do. You know, every one of us is unique, and we have these, you know, incredible, powerful tools inside of us. So the beginning of our conversation today is just realizing, I call it the gold mind, M-I-I-N-D. It's not just a mind you have. It's your soul. It's everything you are. It's all the gifts you bring to the table. And when we come to the table of life, you know, there's a banquet there, and it's all laid out, and all of us are providing the food on the banquet. And some people provide the muffins, and some people provide the meat and the turkey and the salad and the dessert, and everybody brings food to the banquet, and then we all get to eat. And if we don't provide the gifts, our gifts to the banquet, then the banquet is impoverished. And therefore, what the concept of Goldmiind is just realizing that you've got gifts to bring, and you've got talents, and your goal is to spread your message to be able to make the world a better place. So it's just not with RX. It's every breath you take is a way for you to be better in your life, right? So that's the beginning portion of personal growth, is realizing you've got gifts to give. And we have products in RX that give gifts. And as somebody just mentioned to us at the beginning, I've forgotten the name actually, but I don't know, was it Marcia? So I asked her why she came on a little early, and I said, how did you join RX? And she said, well, somebody shared the Slender RX products with us, and my husband lost 100 pounds and I lost 40. And see how this person was given a gift, the gift of a product that could change their life. So the first part of giving is not only that we give the gifts of ourselves, and the gift of love, and the gift of the talents that we have. You know, I'm sharing with you right now a talent that I have. You know, I like to teach, and some people can do it, and some people can't. Some people find it difficult. Some people find it hard to think of what words to say and what words are going to come out of your mouth. I can stand in front of an audience, 20,000 people, It doesn't bother me at all. I look forward to it. Or other people would be, that would be the last thing they'd want, is to talk to a group of people. It would be their biggest fear. And every one of us has these gifts that we give. So when we all put our food on the banquet table, the whole world eats better. So you got to put your food on the banquet, and the food that you put on there is the gifts you have from your talents and the products that we have. And these products are gifts. And sometimes we're afraid to give these gifts to people. Sometimes we're afraid that they might be offended by our gift. Well, think about that for a minute. Somebody brings you a nice gift, and then they offer it to you. You might laugh at it, after they leave. You might say, that's not a gift I really wanted. I'm not interested in those kinds of gifts, but thank you so much for giving the gift. Maybe I'll give it away on an elephant gift for somebody, a white elephant gift to somebody else. But at least you receive the gift. That's all part of generosity. The generosity of giving and the generosity of receiving. So sometimes you feel, I think, at least I do, you're offering a gift to somebody and you're going to profit from it, you're going to benefit from it, that it isn't a gift because you're trying to sell something. Well, you can handle that process in several different ways. You can give them a gift, and I've actually told you several times before that one of the fastest ways to build your business is to give gifts. So we now have samples of these Jove skincare products. Let's see. Oh, my briefcase is upstairs. And these little tiny samples that you give that as a gift. And, it's amazing how much, tightening can happen with the tiny little gift that you give as a sample. It's powerful. Sometimes you just give a product. You give them the Sunrise set. You just say, hi, I'd like to, I'm actually in this business, but since you're my friend, I don't want to charge you. At least at first, I'd like you to try it at the very least. So, man, let me offer it to you as a gift. Some people have a hard time doing that, as I mentioned in a previous call. They don't like to give things away because they're in business. But, Debbie Fields Cookies has little samples of the cookies right in the store. And you walk in there, your nose drags you into the store, you're going to have some samples. So, if you don't like the samples, you don't have to buy, right? So sometimes in the world of the internet, we're giving, and then later on receiving, selling something to the ones who are really interested. That's really the model for our day. So you might consider that as a way to launch your business. You basically will let people know. You're a giver. You're adding to the banquet of life when you give. If you withhold your gift and your talents, then the world is an impoverished place. So I think you should look at your RX business as a place for you to give gifts, right? Now, today we're going to talk about and by the way, whenever I do this, I like you to draw along with me because you're going to be teaching your downline exactly the way I teach you. I don't want to make it too fancy, so somebody could say, "Well, I can't draw that." Could you draw that? This is a rectangle. You'll notice that it's not very square. It's kind of badly drawn, really. That's the point. I don't want you to be perfect. I don't want anybody who watches you do it say, boy, that's not very perfect. I don't think I could do that. Now, if a person is perfectionist and they say, I could draw a straighter line than that, then you just say, well, here, you draw it, right? And they're just 3 rectangles. Not hard to draw. Now, in the center rectangle, you're going to draw a stick figure. It's pretty easy to do. And the point of this whole conversation is how you're a farmer, not a hunter, because our business is not a hunting business; it's a farming business. Most businesses use the metaphor of hunting, like let's go kill some game, let's go end some life, let's go catch a fish and kill it. And that's the way most sports metaphors are like that. We're not in the sport. We're actually growing crops, which is a very different mindset. And we're not trying to close sales. We're trying to actually open relationships. If you close the sale and it destroys a relationship, that's not what we want, is it? We want to open relationships. So we are literally in the process of planting seeds. And we have three kinds of fields that we're planting. We've got the fields that are closest to us. We got the fields that are a little further out. And then we got the fields that may be somewhere in another city or another country. So there's basically warm, hot and warm and cold. Whereas the people that are closest to you are the hottest prospects, if you will. That's because of your friends, and this means you got to be even more careful with them. If you know them and you have a gift for them and you feel like you've got a solution to a problem they have, then they're probably going to trust you more. So trust is always going to be higher here, And as you get further away from where you are, there'll be less trust. And where there'll be maybe even no trust, they don't trust you at all. That's because you're strangers to them. This is a cold market. This is a warm market. This is a hot market. So you're hot are the people you know, and the warm are the people you bump into on a daily basis, and the cold are the people you go market to. They're not your friends. They're not your family. They're not your associates. They have never met you before. They don't know who you are. They don't know whether they can trust you with their money or not. So, this is where most businesses is done. It's done out here. So you advertise to these people out here, and you try to reach them by putting an ad in the Facebook or something like that to attract somebody who is looking. You're looking. These are people who are Googling, right? They are looking for something, and since they want it, so they really want it so badly, they're researching for some business that's offering that solution to them, and they realize that they're going to have to part with their money, and they're going to have to give it to a nameless, faceless corporation somewhere, or an individual in a separate, sole proprietorship business, and they're going to have to risk their money to get a solution to a problem that they've got. So, a lot of businesses is marketed out here. Now, we've talked about this concept before in various different calls we've had. This is just another way of doing it, another way of explaining it. I'm going to show you a piece of art that I've kind of described here, but I want you to draw it first, because I don't want to show you the art first and then you go, oh, I couldn't draw that. I want you to draw it, and this life, this smiley sun that looks over our life is, and you can draw some mountains out there. This is the field where you're going to be doing your work, right? So down here, this hot, warm, and cold process is just people that you're going to bump into, people people that you bump into, people that you're going to advertise to. That's the only source there is for business. And network marketing focuses in on the two inner circles mostly, although we can eventually do some marketing, and that's very possible, but this is where we start first. This is probably where you're going to find your first 4 people, right there. You're probably going to find them right here in your hot market, the people who know you because they trust you. Hopefully, you haven't burned that relationship, so they trust you. And these are going to be your family, friends, associates, acquaintances. And even if you're starting a traditional business where you're not doing network marketing, it wouldn't, if you open up a mall store with, say you open up a shoe store in the mall, wouldn't you tell your friends, hey, Molly, I'm opening up a store in the mall. Be sure you visit, will you please? Because I need a little extra business. At least come on by and I'll give you a good deal. Wouldn't you do that with all your friends and family? Of course you would. You'd want them to know you had business, wouldn't you? Absolutely. So this is where most of your business is going to be done. The only thing you need to realize is that a lot of times your friends and family are not interested in what you have. And marketing is where, what we call it network marketing. That means to market to a network. When you market to a network of people who know and respect and admire you and hopefully are friends with you, there is a very sensitive process that you go through. Because I know some of you are going to feel as if I can't go sell to my friends and family because, I don't want to feel like I'm pushy to them. And number 2, what happens if I fail? And then they'll know, And I don't want anybody to know. I actually want to go way out here in the cold market. I want to talk to people I've never met before. If I fail, it's okay to fail with them. I don't want to talk to people I really know. So that's why a lot of people do it. They won't talk to the people they know. Because the real question is, if you're going to succeed, then more than likely the greatest success will happen as a beginning right here. And if you're afraid to talk to these people, get over it. Because you have a gift that you're giving to them. The very least you can offer them and announce to them or notify them that you've done, that you've joined into that you have a new business, and to notify them, right? So your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. What does that mean? The people you know. There's huge value in that. Am I saying you should go monetize your friends? You should. No, I'm saying you should be giving gifts to your friends. You should be letting your friends know that you have solutions to problems that change people's lives. And so 5 years from now, your friend's spouse dies of a heart attack because the spouse was 50 pounds overweight. And you had the solution to that. You were afraid to talk to them about it. Slenderize, there's a few drops in your mouth and you can drop the weight. You didn't talk to them about it? What kind of friend is that? Like I said, at the very least, you can say, I can get this wholesale. I'm not doing well financially, but this is a solution for you. I want to give it the best price I can give it to you at, so that. Boy, you gotta do this. You gotta take these products. Change your life. It's just what you have to learn how to do. So your network is your net worth, right? And so this process right here is what I call networking. You're not networking, you're networking. You're talking to people. So each group has a different way of talking to. I'm actually going to move that up here. I'm going to move this up here. Your net worth. Network equals your net worth. And then this is called networking. I'll give you a better picture of this when we're done. There's things you're going to be doing in each of these groups to invite people to take a look at ARCs. You're going to be networking with everybody. You're going to let them know that that you've joined a company, that you do have a store in the mall, right? And so for this group, you're going to notify. I didn't say you're going to sell. But don't you think you should at least notify them? You should say, I've joined a new business. I realize that I'm never going to make it as an employee. I need to have my own little side business. I've looked all over the place. I've found some things I thought were good. I've tried a bunch of different things, but this is the one I've kind of settled on. I kind of like this new business. It's really cool. It's the thing that I love to do, and I'm going to do it, right? So I thought I'd just let you know. You know, like you have a mall store, a shoe store, or a candy store, so a health food store in the mall. Wouldn't you let people know? And the answer is you just notify them, and you just let them all know. And so how do you let them know? Just send them an email, or drop a line in the mail to them, or give them a quick phone call. You're not necessarily, trying to sell them anything. You're just basically saying, I just thought I'd let you know. And then just say, I know it may not be for you, but I thought I'd let you know because I have products that solve these 3 problems. So I'm not saying that you have the problems, but if you ever meet somebody, if you're in a conversation with somebody and it comes up like this person, I gotta lose some weight. And you go, if that person really needs it, have them call me because I've got a solution. And it's incredible. It's incredible. If anybody's talking to you saying, I think I'm going to go get some Botox today. You go, well, Botox is going to cost you a couple $100. And you're going to have to keep going back to the doctor every 6 months, maybe more often, where I've got something that can solve that problem in just 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. It's incredible. And it's a lot less than Botox. And it's amazing. And you give them a little sample. Say, if you want a sample, I'm going to give it to you. Or let me come show it with you, how it works. So we have solutions to problems. If you find somebody's, my energy's really low, oh my gosh, you go, hey, if you have really low energy, I've got a solution for that. Now, none of these, issues you might have great energy, you might be totally fit, and you might be, your skin is tight as a drum. Hey, that's not the point. You talk to people, you're talking to your friends, you talk to people every day. And if every one of those people ever bounces this off you, just say, I got my cousin, my Aunt Martha, Jim, my good friend Jim that I work with. He's got this little side business going on, a little part-time income he's doing. It's really cool. You ought to, And so in other words, you're basically notifying your network, and you're letting them know that you have solutions, and that they could be an emissary for you. Now, they're not going to be an emissary for you unless you introduce the product to them in a very non-threatening way. Because if you're threatening with them, if you make that introduction to your friends and your family and your relationships, if you share it with them in a way that they go, ooh, I didn't like that. That was kind of slimy. I didn't know. Then they're certainly not going to say to their friends, you got to go talk to Martha. So in other words, the way in which you introduce this to your friends and family is the way they will think of you when they might mention you to somebody else. And so therefore, just be very non-threatening about it. I just launched a new business. I'm really excited about it. I've got these 3 or 4 solutions that I'm offering. If you ever find somebody that might be, might looking for a solution like this, great. If you'd like to try any of the products that I have, I've got ways that we can do this for free for you because you're my friend. I couldn't do that with other people, but I could do it with you. See how easy that was? It's just effortless. And you're saying, well, Bob, I couldn't afford. I couldn't afford to give samples of the slenderized product. That's $100. Really? Well, are you in business? Or are you not in business? Well, yeah, but I don't know how to sell. I'm very bad at selling, and I'm not. Then don't sell it. Give it away. I know this is maybe will go against any of your upline. Yeah, because this call right here is usually meant for people who are kind of orphans out there. Some people are in their really tight teams, and they have specific ways in which they teach how to build their business, and this might go against your team system. Therefore, I'm only going to share it with you as one option. But this is certainly one way that I do it. If you find a friend, a really good close friend, and you say, I'd like you to have it, but then you have to follow up with them. You can't just give it and then just hope they're going to contact you. When you give it, you say, I'm going to follow up with you. So please, if I give you this product, first I'm going to give you a bottle of the Rejuvenex, something to give them a little energy. Just say, I'm going to give you this bottle, but on one condition. You have to take it every day until the bottle's gone. And when it's gone, then let's talk. I want to talk to you about what your experience was. And it doesn't matter to me if it was good or bad. If you loved it or hated it, that's not the point here. I just want to find out what your experience was. And if you didn't like it, no problem. And if you loved it, hey, maybe this is something you would add to your repertoire, something you would take every day. But I want you to try it. I want you to sample it. So you don't have to give them a complete bottle. Maybe you give it a little snack bag. That's not all that professional, but right there are some ways that perhaps you could present less than a full bottle. It might be a little more expensive. But the bottom line is giving gifts is always a huge, huge way of doing business. It's just a biggie, right? All right, so trust is usually the people that are trusted here. This is low trust. People don't know you. They haven't met you before. They meet you at a party. They're communicating with them. You shake hands with them. You warm them up. But the trust is really kind of low. When you get out here, there's no trust, zero. They don't trust you at all. It's hard for them to part with their money. So that's why it's always better to start in these areas where there's trust or low trust, where you can increase the trust, and then that person can become a customer of yours, right? So this group out here, you drip. What do I mean by drip? Drip is where you gather their business card and you communicate with them on a frequent basis. You send them an email every month or two. If you got their business card, you don't throw that business card away, do you? You get their email address and send them an email. For me, I do a newsletter about once a week. And I have a little growing list of people that I send it to. And people get my little newsletter. And what that does for my group, I'm not saying you should need to do this for yourself, but I'm doing many more businesses besides ARC. So having a regular newsletter is something that's kind of expected of me. But for you, I think when you gather the business card, you say, from time to time, I send an email out to some of my friends and people I'm becoming friendly with about some great valuable information that I've discovered. I'll just send it to you. Don't ask them for permission, just tell them. Just say, I'll send it to you. And if they don't want it, they'll tell you, or if you really want to be double sure about it and double opted in, you could say, is that okay? And if they'll probably say yes when they gather the business card. So in other words, you take the business card. Oh, thank you. I see you're in the insurance business. Good. What kind of insurance do you sell? Ah, cool. I'll have to look through my own. I've got an agent I really like, but if I find somebody that might be, how will I just have them call you? Excellent. Great. Super. Oh, by the way, from time to time, I send an email to the people whose cards I collect, and send a little bit of information I think is really valuable. I think you'll enjoy it. Feel free to let me know what you think. Every once in a while, just watch for it. I'll send it to you. If I have any other businesses, I'll send them your way as well. In other words, you're reciprocating. You say, I'll help you. You help me. And then you drip on them. You drip by meaning every once in a while you drip a little drop of information, a little drop of love, a little drop of friendship, a little drop of communication. Most of the cards you picked up in the last year, somebody gave you a business card. Can you even remember the face that went with that card? Can you remember how you communicated it all? All of us are inundated with Facebooking things all the time that you just need to kind of remind people that you met. And therefore, this is kind of like in their face. It reminds them. When I drip in terms of my newsletter, I'm going to get every single time I send it to many thousands of people, and I'm going to get a response from a few of them. And they're going to say, I needed that. That was great. That's just exactly what I needed to hear. A lot of times I won't hear from any of them, but they'll know I'm there. And whenever they maybe they're in a bookstore somewhere, and yes, that's right. There's Bob's book there. I haven't got that one. Maybe I'll pick that one up. I may never know that the dripping that I did in communicating through that weekly newsletter ever reached anybody. All I'm doing is giving a gift. See, I'm not selling anything. I'm just dripping knowledge. I'm giving a gift. I'm dripping gifts on people. And this is, if you want to be in business, this is what you're going to constantly do. Now, if you're really an aggressive networker and you're out meeting lots and lots of people every year, you're going to meet between 500 and 1,000 brand new people every year. Church meetings, soccer games, bank line, a party, a cocktail thing you're going to. You gather those cards, you're going to have 500 to 1,000 cards. And what are you going to do with those cards? Put them in a shoebox and file them under your bed and never see them again? Or are you going to put them on a little list and then every 3 months? So as soon as you get home, you put them right on your little broadcast list on your email program, and I have a little list where I can send with one button to a group of my 200 friends. I've got 200 really, really sharp friends. I've called out to the best of the best, and they know me, and I like them, and they like me. And so if I send a message to those 200, boom, all of them will get it. Just a little message. I sent one here recently. I was asking for a blurb for my new book, and I sent it to him. I'm making a social faux pas. I'm sending this message to all of you at the same time without individually mentioning your individual names. But I want you to know that I needed to get the message out quickly, so I thought I'd send it out in a broadcast way to all of you. I hope that's okay. And I immediately got all kinds of responses from that. Okay, finally, this give. Notify the people you know. Drip on the people you meet. Give to the people you don't know. The cold market, the way you open up trust with them is you trust them enough with a product that you can give to them. Now, with the samples we have for Jovet, they're so fabulous. I honestly don't know what the cost is. I know, so we got a whole bunch of them in the kit, one of the kits we ordered. So we have 30 of them that are sitting around. But it's the kind of thing you could offer to somebody on Facebook. And they don't know you, but you could send them. It's going to cost you money. Yeah, you're in business. And they get the gift, and you say, as soon as you get it, let's get on Skype, and I'll show you how to use it. In fact, you're going to see results within 3 minutes. Wow. And so you give samples or you give the whole thing. You drip, you give information, you notify, you should let people know. Now you can give gifts to any one of these groups, but this is the fastest way to open up trust, is to give a gift. Do you get that? So to educate, to net worth, and to notify. So these are 3 fields. These fields are where you plant every day. You're a farmer. You plant. You first cultivate the field, which is what this is all about. You're cultivating. That skill up here is to cultivate, right? These fields, they're not going to know you're in business unless you cultivate the field. What do I mean by cultivate? You're preparing the field. You're weeding and watering and laying the ground fallow for a while. You're fertilizing. You're cutting rows. You're getting ready to plant the seeds. That's what this cultivation process is all about. So every day you got to ask yourself the question: did I cultivate today? Did I notify today? Did I drip today? Did I give today? Did I do anything today? Or did I just read a book? Reading books about network marketing doesn't build a business. Going to this program right here, what you're watching me talk right now, this doesn't build your business. This doesn't cultivate your fields. This is pretty much a waste of time. Can I be pretty blunt? Unless you do some cultivating. If you don't do anything with what I teach you, this is a waste of time. Better spending the same hour you spend here, a half hour, better to spend this time by sending out an email to 10 friends. Yeah. Now speaking about friends, did you draw this? There's you. If you're female, you can draw some hair and a little skirt if you want. If this is you, and this is your business, and this is the center circle where everything comes. You're the sower. You're going to sow some seed in the fields around you. You don't sow seeds, no crop. You don't grow crops by reading books about growing crops. You grow crops only one way. Cultivate the field, sow the seed, nurture those seeds, and harvest. That's it. There's no other way. So you ask yourself every single day as you're doing your business every day, did anybody know that I exist today? That my business is in existence today? Can anybody find me? If they were Googling for me, would they find me? Did I do any social media today? Did anybody know that my business was in existence today? I'm a farmer, so you got to plant some seeds. Now, what I'm going to show you is the artwork that I had prepared last year, and I hope you can see that. It's a little more detailed than what I drew up here on the board. A little bit, maybe in a landscape style piece of paper. You have these 3 fields that you're going to be planting in. So you gotta cultivate those fields. You gotta notify those fields. You gotta let them know. You got to drip on the people you meet, and you got to give to the customers that don't trust you at all. You could sell to them. Just the probability of selling is really hard if you're not good at selling. If that's not a skill you have, if you don't like to sell, if you hate selling, if you've never been good at it and you're embarrassed about it, if you are if selling is just not a skill you know you'll never figure out, if you don't like salespeople, I mean, anything that to do with any part of the I don't like that kind of part of the business, you can solve all of that, all of those mindset things that you're dealing with by being a giver and literally putting your thing on Facebook. I've got this incredible set of nutritional products. They're absolutely amazing. You cannot buy them from me first. I must give them to you. See how different that is? If you're having low energy, well, almost all the ads you see on television and on the radio, almost all of them do this one thing. They go, would you like a free bottle of that product that we've been advertising? Would you like a free bottle of it? Good. Just pay for shipping and handling. Why can't you do that? You offer it for free, and you said, I'd just like you to pay for shipping and handling. Now, what does that do? Well, number one, it makes it easy for you to, quote unquote, get it in their hands. Number two, it makes sure that the person you're giving it to is not a flake. In other words, who doesn't even have a credit card, even if they eventually wanted to buy your product, they couldn't afford it because they don't have a credit card to pay for it. So this is a way of weeding out the looky-loos. You could say, I will send it to you. Just pay for shipping and handling. Yeah, usually when I put it in a box, I've figured out it's plus shipping and handling. It cost me like $6. Okay, so I'm going to send it to you. So $6 and it's yours. That's one way to do it. The other one way is I'll send it to you, and unfortunately, if they don't appreciate it, they might just forget that you even gave them the product. So having a little skin in the game is always very helpful. Give them a little skin so they know it, and then make them a promise. I would even, if you ever give away a product to anybody, you say, I'm going to follow up with you every week. Since I give you this valuable product that costs me money, I want to give it to you because I want you to trust these products. I don't want you to take a risk. This is riskless. I want you to do this, but the risk is for me, if you don't use it and devalue the gift I'm giving you, then I'm really going to lose out. I don't care if you become, that's a strong way to say it. For me, it's not about whether you become a customer or not. It's I want you to have a good experience. And therefore, that's really, really important to me. And if you don't like the product, when we're all said and done, you never have to bring this up again. If you do like the product and you like to have it buy it at wholesale, I can get it for you at wholesale. But hey, let's get you on the product so you can try it. Okay. So the image I'm showing you right here, you can take a picture with your camera if you want, so you could kind of remember everything that this says. Take your cell phone out and just take a quick shot of that. Because this is your business. This is the cultivating part of your business. Now, how you plant the seeds we'll talk about next time. But this is something that has to be done. Either if you want to be in business, then this is what you do. And if you want to just be a hobby network marketer, so show up at the meetings and rub shoulders with the winners, well, then you wouldn't do any of this. But if you're serious about farming, you're serious about crops, you're serious about freedom, you're serious about free life, free time, free health, free friends, you want free any of this, you have to plant seeds. Okay, I think that should cover it for our conversation today. I'll unmute everybody. I'll open up the videos for the rest of you. Any conversation you'd like to have, any questions you want to ask, feel free to do so. I'll unmute you all right now. Here we go. There we go. And I'm trying to unmute the phones. I think I'm doing it. I'm sending you a little notification asking you to start your video if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. So any questions, comments, disagreements? I like those. Tell me what's working for you, what's not working for you. I'm trying to unmute or to start all the videos if you want to show me the video.
Bob, you have a chat that says, great topic today, Robert, from Mary.
Thank you. All right, Ann, I see Ann. I I wish there was a way to unmute all the videos simultaneously. I kind of block them. There's a way you can block your own video, isn't there, Brenda?
Yeah, down in the bottom left corner, we can start stop our own video.
All right.
To do that, you could try that. And Bob, you also have a chat message from Ann Davenport from the UK. She said, thank you very much.
Oh, and Ann, I didn't forget your email to me last week, which was getting you the information about the compensation plan, what percentage goes to the distributors versus the company. And I'm still looking for those darn PowerPoints. And I brought my computer downstairs today. I was gone over the weekend. So I don't know if you're like me, Ann, but I leave my emails in my email inbox and I try to clean it out. And yours is at the very top of my inbox. And I haven't responded yet. And I will eventually, I promise. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Anybody else have any comments, questions? I'm here to answer and help any way I can.
Well, this was very valuable to me. I loved how you explained it, how you explained it as farming. And, it was very valuable. I really appreciate it.
Who is saying that?
Marcia.
Oh, hi, Marcia. You're there. I see
Yes.
your picture. How you doing, Marcia? Good. I'm glad you liked it. Some people are natural at sharing with their friends. They call their friends up, Jim, I found this new thing, you got to try it. But most people are not like that. They're very close. And so this gives them a way to kind of get over those barriers. Thanks, Marcia.
Thank you.
Any other call? Okay, tomorrow, Connie's speaking to a group of about 100 women on Heart Smart, connecting and doing one-on-one meetings. I'm definitely talking about networking. Good for you. Go, Connie.
Networking.
Yeah, networking. Yeah, good for you. All right, let's see. Okay, there we go. Now I'm seeing some photos, some images. I'm still learning how to do this darn thing. Okay, everybody. The day is waning. Go plant some seed.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
Every day, go plant.